I have something to tell you, and I know those words alone can hit like a wave. They can make your chest tighten. For a second, like the whole universe suddenly leaned in to pay attention. Like time itself decided to pause right here, right now, just for this moment. But I need you to hear me. I need you to stay calm and just listen. Because this isn't the kind of news that shatters you. This isn't the kind that leaves you broken on the floor. This is the kind that transforms. The kind that shows up without an invitation and without a warning. And suddenly everything you thought you knew about your own life starts looking completely different. I've been carrying this with me for a long time, not because I was ashamed, not because I wanted to keep secrets, but because I was looking for the right moment, the right breath, the right curl eyes, something. There is no perfect moment. There is only this moment, this one, right now. So, yes, I have something to tell you. And once I say it, nothing between us will ever feel quite the same again. A part one, I didn't plan this. 130, 60 noters. Before your mind starts racing, before your imagination starts building dark scenarios, I need you to look at me. Not with fear, with trust. Because sometimes the word shocking doesn't mean something painful. Sometimes it means something so real, so unexpected, so powerful that it shakes the very ground beneath your feet. That is what this is. It's shocking because even I didn't see it coming. I didn't plan it. I didn't decide it. I didn't wake up one morning and say to myself, today I'm going to choose you. It just happened. Gradually, quietly. The way sunrise comes without making any noise but still manages to change the color of the entire sky. I kept it inside for a long time. Not because I wanted to hide it from you, but because I genuinely didn't know what to do with it. Feelings like this don't come with a guidebook. They don't arrive with instructions. There's no safe, clean way to hand them to someone. They come like a wave, and it pulls you under. If you surrender to it, it carries you somewhere you've never been before. And you carried me there. The shocking truth is that I am not the same person I was before you came into my life. Maybe you didn't notice. Maybe you saw me smiling the same way, walking the same way, talking the same way. But on the inside, something shifted. Something I can't take back. Something I don't want to take back. I I didn't just meet someone beautiful. I met someone who made the world feel different. Someone who made silence feel safe. Someone who reminded my exhausted heart how to beat the way it used to. Like it still had dreams. Like it still believed that things could be good again. Par T2. Love is not just words. 600 lidars. I know that love stories are everywhere. People talk about love like it's simple, like it's just sweet words and late night texts and laughing together and holding hands in public places. But what I feel, it isn't that simple. It's heavier. It goes deeper than that. It's the kind of feeling that stays with you when you're completely alone. The kind that follows you even when you're busy with everything else. The kind that sneaks into your mind when you're trying to focus on something important. And suddenly you forget what you were doing because you remember the exact way your voice sounds when you say my name. That's what you've done. Part is, I didn't want this. Not because you don't deserve to be loved. You do. Completely. But because I was afraid of caring this deeply about someone. Afraid of handing my heart to another person and then watching it get lost. Afraid of building something real because real things can break, real things can hurt, real things leave scars that don't fade easily. So I tried to keep my distance. I tried to act normal. I tried to convince myself that you were just another person passing through my story. Just another chapter. Just another moment that would eventually pass. But my heart didn't listen. My heart kept walking toward you, even when my mind kept telling it to stop. And now I'm standing here holding the truth in both hands. It's heavy, and I can't carry it alone anymore. The shocking news is that I am falling for you in a way I cannot control. Not the kind of falling that arrives with excitement for a few days and then quietly disappears. Not the kind that feels sweet but doesn't last. I'm talking about the that makes you think about the future without even trying to. The kind that makes you wonder what you'd look like smiling years from now. The kind that makes you imagine coming home and finding that person there, not as a fantasy but as a reality. And I hate how much I love that thought because it terrifies me. It terrifies me because if you ever walked away, it wouldn't just be sadness. It would be emptiness that turns into music. It would be like watching the world lose all its color. It would be like a song ending right in the middle of the most beautiful part. Part 3. Without even realizing as 116 huzzers, I find myself caring about things I never paid attention to before. I care about how your day went. I care about your mood. I care about drains you. I care about what makes you smile. I care about the small things, the ones most people overlook, the ones that don't seem important to anyone else, but they matter to me because they're connected to you. And without asking for permission, you become the center of my thoughts. That's the shocking news. I didn't plan to love you like this. I didn't plan to miss you when you're not around. I didn't plan to feel restless when you go quiet. I didn't plan to feel this strange sense of peace the moment you finally speak. I didn't plan to feel jealous of time itself, because it gets to spend more moments with you than I do. But it happened. And it's not just emotion, it's not just a temporary fire that burns bright and fades fast. It's something steady, something that feels like coming home. And the most shocking part of all of this is that I think I was searching for you without knowing it. In all those moments when I told myself I didn't need anyone. In all those moments when I convinced myself that love was nothing but a distraction. In all those moments when I acted tough, acted cold, acted like nothing in this world could reach me, I was lying. Maybe not to the people around me, but definitely to myself. Because the truth is, I always wanted someone who could understand me without demanding that I explain every scar. Someone who could sit beside me in silence and not make it feel awkward. Someone who could look at me with the weight of everything I carry. Someone who could make me feel like I'm enough, exactly as I am. And then you showed up, without trying, without even meaning to, and you did all of it. You made me feel seen. You made me feel like my heart wasn't a mistake. You made me feel like love wasn't a weakness. You made me feel like maybe, just maybe, it's okay to want someone. It's okay to let yourself hope again. Part forward. The walls I built, 1600, 20 I tried to hide my feelings. I genuinely did. Not because you didn't deserve to know. Not because I didn't want you to. But because I was terrified of what would happen the moment you found out the truth. Some feelings are easy to express. You can laugh about them. Toss them out like a casual joke. Let them float into the air, as if they mean nothing. But what I feel for you isn't light, it isn't casual. It isn't something I can say, and then walk away from as if it doesn't matter. This feeling has weight. And when something has weight, you don't just throw it into the air carelessly. You hold it gently. You protect it. You hesitate, because you know that if you drop it the wrong way, it might shatter. That's what I was doing. Holding my love for you like something fragile, like something too valuable to risk losing. I wanted to tell you so many times. There were moments when the words were sitting right there on the tip of my tongue, ready to come out, and then I would look at you and my courage would just disappear. Not because you frightened me, but because you mattered too much to risk. Because when you truly care about someone, you don't just speak without thinking. You calculate. You wonder whether your words might ruin something beautiful that already exists. I didn't want to ruin what we had. I didn't want to make things uncomfortable between us. I didn't want you to start seeing me differently. And above everything else, I didn't want to lose you. That was the biggest fear of all, losing you. So I stayed quiet. I kept calm. I acted like everything was fine. I acted like my heart wasn't trembling. You got close. I acted like your presence didn't completely change the temperature of my entire world. But it did. Every time you were near me, something inside woke up, like a part of my soul that had for years suddenly opened its eyes and whispered, "This is her. This is the one." And I hated how powerful that feeling was, because I couldn't turn it off. I've always been the kind of person who keeps things locked inside. The kind who smiles even when the heart is heavy. The kind who listens far more than he speaks. The kind who buries emotions behind silence because silence feels safe. Silence doesn't get rejected. Silence doesn't get mocked. Silence doesn't get misunderstood. But love is dangerous. Love is the one thing in this world that can undo a strong person completely. It can turn someone who seemed untouchable into someone who stares at a phone screen waiting for a single message. And I didn't want to become that person again. I didn't want to overfade every word. I didn't get hurt and pretend it didn't matter. So I tried to shut it down. I told myself it would fade, that it was just attraction, just a phase, just a passing moment, but it didn't fade, it grew. Part 5. Love speaks on its own. So 2100, 25, 30 dart. Every time you spoke softly, it grew. Every time you laughed, it grew. Every time you looked at me like you actually cared, it grew. Every time you showed kindness without expecting anything back, it grew. And slowly, without me realizing it, you became the person my heart started depending on. And that's terrifying. Because dependency feels like vulnerability, and I don't like feeling vulnerable. I don't like handing someone my most sensitive parts and hoping they handle them carefully. But that's what love is, isn't it? It's trusting another person with most delicate places. And I wasn't ready for that. So I built walls, I made jokes, I kept conversations safe and shallow. I kept my feelings locked somewhere behind my eyes. But no matter how hard I tried to hide it, I think part of you already felt it, because love has a sound even when it isn't spoken. It speaks through the way you look at someone when they're not watching. It speaks through the way you remember the smallest details about them. It speaks through how you go quiet when someone says their name. It speaks through the way your whole energy shifts the moment they walk into the room. And maybe my love was speaking louder than I intended. There were moments when you were talking and I wasn't even listening to the actual words. I was just watching you, watching the way your lips moved, the way your eyes lit up, the way your expression changed when you smiled. And in those moments, something inside me would whisper, tell her. Tell her that she's the best part of your day. Tell her that she's the reason you pick up your phone. Tell her that she's the reason your mind doesn't feel so lonely anymore. But I didn't say it because what if you didn't feel the same way? What if you looked at me and said, I don't see you like that? What if my honesty became the reason you walked away from me? I couldn't handle that because I wasn't just fond of you anymore. I was already attached. And attachment makes people afraid. So I stayed silent. But my heart didn't. My heart betrayed me every single time I smiled like an idiot and couldn't help it. It betrayed me when you said my name, and it felt like the most beautiful word I'd ever heard. It betrayed me when you were gone and I missed you like you were part of the way I breathe. And I started understanding something important. Hiding love doesn't kill it. Hiding love only makes it stronger. Because when you hide something precious, you never stop thinking about it. You protect it, you hold it close, and it becomes more valuable in your mind than almost anything else. That's exactly what happened with me. My love for you became the secret I carried everywhere I went. It wasn't just a feeling anymore. It became a habit, the first thought every morning and the last thought every night. The thing I couldn't escape no matter what I did. Part 6. What you built with knowing 20, 30, 30, 30, 20, 30 years. Sometimes I'd sit alone and imagine what it would feel like to say all of this out loud. I'd picture you standing there, listening, your eyes locked onto mine. I'd imagine your reaction. Would you smile? Would your cheeks flush? Would you step a little closer? Would you say you feel it too? And then reality would hit. It would remind me that imagination is safe. But truth is a risk. Truth changes everything. Truth exposes you completely. And I didn't know if I was strong enough to be that exposed. But the harder truth is this. The longer I kept hiding my feelings, the more it burned. Because you cannot hold love inside forever without it leaving marks. It's like gripping fire in your bare hands and convincing yourself it isn't hot. You can pretend for a while, but eventually you feel it, and I felt it. Marks in my thoughts, marks in my mood, marks in my heart. I started feeling jealous of things that made no logical sense. Jealous of the people who made you laugh. Jealous of the moments you spent away. Jealous of the attention you gave to anything that wasn't me. And I hated that about myself, because that's not who I want to be. But love doesn't ask for your permission. Love just arrives. And once it arrives, it takes over. I remember the exact moment I realized this was serious. It wasn't during anything romantic. It wasn't during some meaningful conversation. You were just being yourself, completely ordinary, completely you. And out of nowhere, a thought crossed my mind: if she left my life tomorrow, I would feel completely empty. That thought scared me more than anything else ever had, because it meant you were already too deep inside. It meant you already mattered at a level I hadn't prepared for. It meant my heart had already made its choice without asking me first. And the strange thing is, I don't even know exactly when it happened. It wasn't one single moment. It was 100 small ones that built into something enormous. The way you listened when I spoke. The way you cared even when you were exhausted. The way you stayed gentle even when life was being hard on you. The way you carried strength inside softness. First I started respecting you. Then admiring you. Then needing you. Silo sign G. I can't stay silent anymore. 28, 30, 30, 100 all of, and now I'm standing here. And I can't keep pretending. The shocking news is that I don't want a life where you're just a small footnote in my story. I want you to be the reason my story makes any sense at all. I want you to be the chapter that changes everything. I want you to be the name my heart says when the rest of the world finally goes quiet. And maybe you're wondering, why now? Why are you telling me this now? Because I reached a point where keeping it inside hurts more than saying it out loud. Because every time I looked at you, my heart felt like it was screaming from behind my ribs. Because every time you smiled, I felt like I was losing my grip on control. Because every time you walked away, I felt like something precious was slipping out of reach. And I realized something: if I don't tell you now, I might lose this chance forever. And I refuse to live with that regret. I refuse to be the person who stayed silent while love was standing right there in front of him, close enough to touch. So, yes, I have shocking news for you. And that news is that you are not just someone I like, you are not just someone I care about, you are not just someone I think about from time to time. You are someone I am beginning to love in a way that frightens me because it feels permanent. It feels like something carved into the deepest part of who I am, like something that was always supposed to be there. I don't know what you'll do with this truth. I don't know if you'll smile or go quiet. I don't know if you feel the same, but you deserve to hear it anyway, because you deserve honesty. You deserve to know that someone out there looks at you like you're the miracle they never expected. Someone who didn't believe in miracles until you came along and quietly, without even trying, became one. That's the shocking news. And that someone is me.